Hello everyone, welcome to the latest installment of my web videos detailing my travels this summer and into the fall with Ecuador. I'm in my second week of work and things are starting to come together. I'm forced to work with MySQL and SQL and C# and ASP.NET, and so brand new languages, and I'm starting to be able to tackle them. I'm making this multi-tiered application that handles students, teachers, and classes. Multi-tiered simply means that the data is separated from the accessing of it, and that's separated from what a user of a web application would actually see. And if that sounds confusing, it was confusing to me too as late as Monday of this week, and that's pretty crazy. We didn't even have work on Monday. So I've been learning as I go. Tutorials are very helpful when they're well written. Tutorials can be a pain when you're following them just fine and then there's a typo. I happen to not like it when you do exactly what it says and you go and hit run and it doesn't work because it's something they wrote wrong. But anyways, you know, I don't blame the guy who wrote it. He's very knowledgeable. I just blame his editor because he had 6 people looking at this document. Why they couldn't have cut that? Anyways, so yeah, got my Metro Pass. So now Definitive Logic will take the pain of paying high Metro prices for me. And I say that tongue-in-cheek because Metro is really a good bargain when you think of all the money you'd pour into your car. What else is going on? I should probably start touristing this weekend because it's DC, for crying out loud. I got a lot to see. I'm definitely going to bring the camera with me and post the shots right here on this very page that you're watching right now. Yeah. So, I really should think through stuff to say before I start recording, huh? Yeah. It's a water cooler where I work and free donuts every Friday, so that's a pretty good deal. A lot of nice people I've been coming in touch with. People on the bus seem all very nice, and one of the receptionists at the office introduced herself to me today because she kind of noticed that I didn't look as confident as everyone else walking around there. So she was very nice, and she explained that they filter out all these telemarketer or phone spam, as I like to call it, so that the offices just get the calls they care about. So it's a pretty sweet office setup, I think. Don't know how much rent is. I can only imagine in a town where subs from Quiznos are $7.84, that rent must be outrageous at this office building, but it's worth it if you want service. So yeah, I hope to move away from my practice code and actually do like real coding soon. Also getting a little experience installing stuff on Ubuntu Linux, which is quite an adventure. Dependencies are crazy. Dependencies basically, well, they write a piece of software, but you need this to run it. But then you go and you get that, and that requires another thing. So it's just this big chain of dependencies sometimes. And so, luckily, I was just installing Perl modules, and that has, well, Perl's a web programming language. But the important thing is that there's an automatic thing for that, so I don't have to worry about getting the dependencies. It says, oh, you need this, shall I go get it? So the only thing I have to worry about is when it says, yeah, so I couldn't install that, and then I have to go, yeah, well, you expect me to figure it out? you were written by someone who's halfway familiar with Linux. I'm not. But, this is very good. I am learning a tremendous amount because SQL is definitely a database system I need to know. Too many people use it to ignore it, and it's worthwhile because it's so robust, powerful, you name it. SQL is where it's at. ASP and C#, different opinions on whether I need to know that, but always good to have another language on your resume, if nothing else, and learning another programming language helps you in general with computer science, see how another language would approach it, and remind you how things work, and dealing with classes in creating an application with many tiers. So classes are important because they're part of modern programming no matter what language you're in. Well, that's all I got for today. I don't know when I'll be updating next. I wanted to do this weekly and it's already been way past weekly, so whenever I get around to it, hopefully more photos soon. And if you haven't figured it out by now, usually when I say I'll get around to something eventually, that means I'll forget about it, like the captions for those first batch of photos, which I never did. I'm sorry. So hopefully things will improve because I need to have the system perfected for Ecuador. Goodbye, everyone.